Hello everyone, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the series finale of The Bad Batch. If you have not seen it, well, I'm recording this a lot late, so if you have not seen it, I'm very disappointed. But if you haven't and you don't want any spoilers, then I highly recommend you pausing this video, watching the series finale, and then watching this video. So, this starts off with well, actually, right where the last episode ended. So Omega and the children, the younglings, although I don't think we call them that anymore. I think they're just called young Force users. Um, Escaped, and while that was going on, a lot of oh no, that's a lie. So we have, like I said, Omega going into the area where the creature is to kind of absorb energy, and she releases the creature causes a huge commotion and at least a distraction enough for those kids to get at least sort of to safety. Echo and Emery try to go to the vault where the kids are not, and apparently Emery is being ordered to find the kids. Echo's like, "Where are we going?" And she's like, "I have no idea." And then the destruction happens. He realizes that he's pretty sure he knows exactly where they're going. So the Bad Batch is on the outside trying to figure out how they're going to get themselves inside. And unfortunately, or fortunately, unfortunately, they couldn't figure out a way to get in on their own. However, that massive creature breaks out of there and takes out a bunch of stormtroopers on the way out. The Bad Batch look at it, realize that's their opening, and then they question who actually released it. Was it Echo or Omega? And both Hunter and Crosshairs agrees that it had to have been from Omega. The creature escapes, everything else. While that's going on, we have the Bad Batch going in. There is a message from to the head doctor, sorry, from Tarkin. Tarkin's basically explaining, like, I know what's going on, everything's failing, you've lost everything. And apparently, the Bad Batch is there, and you can't even hold them off. And he's trying to explain that he has everything under control, and Tarkin's basically stating that I'll be there to see for myself, and hopefully the place is still standing by the time I get there. Heavy foreshadowing, by the way. And so he gets off and starts getting really ticked off, and has stormtroopers come with him. He releases all of the shadow clones to take out the Bad Batch. So the Bad Batch tries to get in. The shadow clones start taking down the Bad Batch. In fact, stun them enough to the point where they're taken down. And Crosshairs, his hand, shooting hand specifically, was cut off. They are then taken away. Omega and the children find Echo and Emery. They begin to try to figure out a plan on what they're going to do next. Echo basically explains they're going to use that shuttle to get out of there, and Omega's trying to figure out where the rest of the Bad Batch are, and Echo's like, they think they were captured, and that's when Echo and Omega decide that they're going to stay behind to save the Bad Batch and the rest of the clones, but specifically the Bad Batch. So Emery is ordered to take um, the children to the coordinates that are in the system already, and that they would take off. Emery gives Omega the pin pad to basically get all the clones out of there. They go back inside. They release all of the um, clone prisoners, along with Radcliffe and Nala Se. And they explain that they are going to need help to save the Bad Batch, and that they gathered a bunch of weapons and basically asked them to help. And many of them agreed. Nala Se said she was going to destroy the project, and Omega offered to help, and she said, "No, your place is with your brothers. I will deal with this myself." Um, she takes a grenade at some point and heads down over there. We then have, actually, I'll talk about that story first and then move on to the Bad Batch. So Nala Se goes to the laboratory, I guess is the best way to put it. Redcliffe is right behind her, and basically is stating he wants to know everything that's going on. She arms the grenade and tries to talk with him. He thinks he's going to use this information to buy his way back into the Empire. And Nala says, like, she's not going to let that happen. He shoots her right in the chest, and when that happens, she had already set the grenade, or triggered the grenade already. So when she fell down, the grenade was almost ready to explode. Anyway, so because of that, the grenade goes off, killing both Radcliffe, Nala Se, if she was even still alive at that point, and all of the data in that area, plus all the blood samples destroyed. We then have the Bad Batch being basically tortured to the point where they're trying to turn them into good soldiers. And the fact that they've supposedly increased the training process so they will then be able to be turned into the greatest soldiers and operatives of all time. Um, Omega and Echo work on a plan to get inside. Echo and his team start down on the bottom and starting to cause a distraction. And that's when Omega is trying to break it. Well, she broke in and tries to get the, I don't want to phrase this, the Bad Batch safe. She then tries to get one of them out, Wrecker being one of them. And that's when a huge fight breaks out, where Wrecker comes out. Humdell is the doctor, I believe. I can't even remember names. It's awful at this point. He grabs Omega and starts to get off. Wrecker breaks out and starts going after the big Shadow clone, while Crosshairs and Hunter eventually break out, very much disoriented, and the two of them begin to go forward to go after Omega, while Wrecker, Echo, and the rest of the clones try to take out the Shadow clones, which they were able to do, however, in a massive fight where they lost a few of the clones. However, Echo and Wrecker survived the fight. We then move on to Eindel trying to bring Omega to him while she's handcuffed to him, and they're ready to take off. And that's when the Hunter and Crosshairs open fires on their stormtrooper that was assigned to him, taking him out and ready to take down Heimdall as well. I mean, I'm sorry, the head doctor. Crosshairs is too afraid to take the shot because Omega is right there, and the doctor has a blaster on Omega. And Omega knows that neither one of them wants to actually shoot them because they're worried that they're going to shoot her. So she uses the device that Emery gave her, undoes the handcuffs, and they begin to open fire on the doctor. He gets taken out, and they are saved. They all go back to the island, where they pretty much begin to relax. I guess the best way to put it. Emery joins the to help joins Echo to help him out, and then that was the end of the episode. So we thought. A time jump happens where we don't know exactly when that time jump was, but apparently the rebellion is needing fighters to help out, and Omega is taking the call. She's an adult woman now, and Hunter doesn't want her to go, and she explains like, "You guys have trained me all my life, and I appreciate that. You made me the person I am. You guys are retired now. It's my turn and my time to fight." And he agrees and explains to her if she ever needed help to call them. And she agreed, and she gets into the ship and takes off after asking him to make sure he keeps watch of Crosshairs and Wrecker. During this, we definitely see that Hunter has definitely gotten older, um, and we don't see obviously Wrecker and Crosshairs in this, and it'd be interesting to see how old they look. But that being said, that is the end of the Bad Batch's story for at least their series. We might see them again pop up in stories to come, but as of right now, that is the end of the Bad Batch. So let me know what you guys thought about this series, season, and episode down in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. This is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.